Libertarianism is a complex ideology, and for many new libertarians, you don't always have the answer when challenged on certain topics. So today, we're going to be talking about a common criticism of libertarianism that I ran into on occasion when I was just learning about the philosophy. No, not that. What I'm talking about can best be described by explaining how the argument against libertarianism goes. The story is as follows. A libertarian is lost in the woods and starving. He has been lost for days and out of blind luck comes across an apple orchard. There is no farmer in sight and no one is around. Now, the opponent of libertarianism exclaims, "You don't own this apple orchard and cannot get permission to eat an apple. And on top of that, you don't even have any money to pay for an apple. So either you starve to death or your entire philosophy is invalid." Now, there are a couple of interesting things to learn about libertarianism using the supposed argument against it. First and foremost is this simple fact. Even if the libertarian in the scenario picks an apple, it doesn't make them any less of a libertarian. Libertarianism, contrary to what people seem to think, is not a utopian ideology. In fact, it is the only philosophy that recognizes that human action is subject to human whims and desires. There is no new libertarian man necessary for a libertarian society to exist. Not every action in a libertarian society would be libertarian. There would be crime, there would be conflict, there would be conflict resolution. What libertarianism does is apply a set of rules for governing society that are based on normative, deontological rights, and most importantly, are applied consistently to everyone at all times. This is in stark contrast to most other political systems, where favored groups rise and fall and rights tend to be positive. For a further discussion of normative versus positive rights, I recommend The Ethics of Liberty by Murray Rothbard. So what does this mean? It means the libertarian should eat the apple. But doesn't this go against the non-aggression principle, where the initiator of violence is in the wrong, and to a libertarian, theft is violence? Yes, it does. But all this means is our apple eater is an apple thief and is guilty of the crime of stealing. That is the difference between libertarianism and many other political systems. Those systems would attempt to justify the theft as a right, since one person has a bountiful orchard and the other is starving. Whereas libertarianism recognizes the theft as a crime, but accepts and understands that someone starving would commit the crime anyway so that they don't die. It is another discussion altogether whether this libertarian would face any real consequences for stealing a single apple anyway. Next time, we will examine what moral obligations a libertarian has when faced with violations of the non-aggression principle or initiations of aggression by a third party. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.